G'day, guys. Great to be here. It feels like it feels like it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I last streamed. But it is amazing to be back with you all. I have missed you. Yeah. So what I thought we would do tonight, and we'll do this over several streams, is that I thought we would go back to one of my favourite calls, and I also think one of the most important calls in kind of the whole Lorne stratosphere, for kind of reminding everyone what this piece of shit really is. And I also thought, this being Lorne, um, and I'll tell you what the call is. So we're going to go back to the I Am a Predator call, which is over three parts. So we're going to do probably about half of part one tonight. And the reason I want to do this is twofold. As I was saying, I think it's important to remember, because we do, and myself more than anyone, you get caught up in kind of all the stupidity of Lorne. Like, he's dating a robot, he's doing this, when he's shitting in the tub, all that kind of stuff. And that stuff is amazing. I mean, if it was all this kind of seriousness and that, it would get old really fast, and in fact it'd be really depressing. So we need all those, but I think we also need to remind ourselves exactly why we hate this guy so much, and this call definitely does that. And I've kind of been surprised over like the last few weeks, and I mean it's one person in particular, and I'm sure most people know what I'm talking about. Like, but we've got like people that sympathise with Lorne, and that to me is utter nonsense. So I hope, not that I'm sure anyone needs a reminder, and especially anyone that is here won't need a reminder, but let's remind ourselves anyway. But the main reason I wanted to do this at the moment is because I think this is a really nice accompaniment to the various chat log readings that are going on at the moment. Obviously, Baspy's doing the nightly chat log reading, which is just splendid. I look forward to this every year. She always does such an amazing job, as do all of the guests that she has on. And there's other channels that are doing a great job reading the chat log as well. And I think what will fit really well here is that in the I Am a Predator calls, Lorne talks about how he never wanted to go there. He never even meant to do it. And so I think it'd be really nice, while all this chat log is fresh in our mind, to listen to this where he's saying, "Oh, I never even wanted to go there." And then, fresh in our mind is that from the chat log readings is the daily countdown, and we're not going to be able to wait very long to see each other, precious, and all this kind of stuff. So I reckon it should all just meld in quite well. It might not at all. It could be a shit idea, but we're going to I'm going to do it anyway. So we'll jump straight into it in a second, but I have missed saying hello to you all. So g'day to Spencer Silvera, Tay Driver, one of those weirdos, the poem Lorne wrote. Hello to you. Winnie's Stupid Bullshit. Great name. Primitive Blue Goo, great to see you. And Pussy Destroyer, always a pleasure. Tracy Hamill, great to see you, Tracy. And make sure, if you've got a bit of time, check out Tracy's podcast that I put on the community post. I've listened to all the episodes so far, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to the new ones coming out. And also, just while we're on the topic of Tracy, on Wednesday, Tracy will be on for a belated birthday stream. We missed her actual birthday by a little bit, but hey, better late than never, right? So I'm looking forward to that one. G'day, Lorne's Wet Salad and Robophobic. You were formerly Patrick Moadib. I like the new name. I like the old name, but the new name is great too. Bunny. Cyril, can you hear me chewing? I can hear you chewing, Bunny. It's actually quite loud. Ilrig says, "Have I missed Cornville Freeway?" Yeah, with every bullet so far. Tiffany Rose, hello to you. Kitty Velociraptor. Duchess, hello, all of you lovely people. One of those weirdos. Mandy, yes, great to see you. Smokey the Cat, OMG, I had the worst day ever. This is perfect. Watch out, Phil Ruse. I'm so sorry to hear that you've had such a bad day. I hope that this is the start of its improvement. G'day, Bundaberg Bogan. What's everyone wearing tonight? Panties and bra. Anna Mango, hello to you. And April and Pedro, g'day guys. Dan's Jeans. Oh boy, our husband 33W has returned. I have Dan's Jeans, and I've missed you. Rocket Fall Skin, hello to you. And the Duchess of Cornwall with the Arby's pussy, hello to you. Dr. Cunt. Great name. Vast Ravioli, great to see you, Vast. Lorne's sister's munkled leg, DNA. Amy Ramirez. The Time Machine. Who else do we got here? Javon. Hello, Javon. And the Cornville Nightmare. And Trooper Grandson is being timed out for some reason. But hello, Trooper Grandson. Hope you didn't do anything too bad. I missed whatever you did. Although Winnie's boyfriend/husband does like timing people out, namely me, in other people's chats. And g'day to Coldan and Megan Gorski, who says, "Yay, finally catching a live stream. Great to see you, Megan. I'm glad you could catch a live stream." Who else do we have here? Smokey. Oh, obviously, hello to you, Smokey the Cat. You have two. Salty Robot. Hello, Salty Robot. And Kingpin. And Doopy's fashion consultant. I missed you. Let's see. Yarn Queen. Hello, Yarn Queen. And Monks for me. Cool, I think. And James Dean. I think I got everyone. Alright, guys. Enough from me, hey. Let's get straight into this one. Oh, I might actually, put up my template and such. It has been a little while. I wasn't really in practice, but I'm definitely out of practice. And thank you to AsburyBrad for tonight's stream art. Alright, let's do it.
Hi, beautiful lady.
How's it going? I'm good.
Well, it's going better than what it was.
Okay, that's a good start.
It's been rough.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of a rough day.
A little hungover today?
No.
Oh.
No, I just all the talking that I've
and
done.
now that I've gone back and read it, apologies, Trooper Grandson. Trooper Grandson didn't do anything wrong. He's just, Winnie's boyfriend/husband is high on the timeout power again. Someone might be losing their rent soon.
With Winnie and with Emma and Maria and class.
Yeah.
It's been hard.
Okay.
G'day, Evil Little Big Nuggets. I can't remember if I said hello to you, but wanted to make sure I did.
Oh, what did you guys talk about?
I figured out I need to stop my bullshit.
Stop my
bullshit.
bullshit.
A lot of things that have happened to me bothers me. It bothers me, and I put it off.
This always annoys me. All the things that have happened to him, like these didn't happen to you. You caused them. You happened to them. Like you happened to Kayla and to MySpace Girl and all the other, kids that I'm sure you attempted to molest. Like you happened to Betty. You happened to everyone. Nothing happened to you. Consequences happen to
people
you of your actions.
I get hateful because of things that have happened to me on the internet. Because of the internet, fucking how to deal with the internet, how to deal with my thoughts, and how to live with the crap that I did, and why I go with Tony and Wendy's, and how I don't want to go with Tony and Wendy's, but I wind up going over there, how I can't stand Wendy. I really can't stand Tony either.
Okay, well, why don't we kind of start there? Why did you go there yesterday?
I got just bored.
Okay, so
I got bored because I had plenty to do. I don't know. Marie asked me why I went there. I told her I don't know. So I was just bored, and I just felt like going over there. Even though I can't stand, it don't make sense to me because as much as she's fucking me over, and Wendy, she just grosses me out.
Okay, so
Why does like Wendy gross him out? Like I'm assuming by the way he's talked, Wendy is maybe not the most, attractive person, but like neither are you, Lorne. And from everything I know, Wendy has never tried to, molest any children. So why does Wendy gross you out? And g'day to Chef Boyard bitch. I will try to stop cheating on you. It's difficult though, but if I do it, remember I never even meant to do it. And g'day Peter O'Keefe and RKM and Org Raymond. Great to see you all.
seeing
I
as that's
promised you that.
Oh, and g'day to Page Master. I missed you, Page Master, and I think Eel has cracked the case here. Wendy is a female that won't have sex with Lorne, and that grosses him right out.
well, I mean, seeing as you're talking about how you don't like them, it's kind of strange that you would go there.
Well,
So what
see,
is better? Hang on a second. What is better? What are you getting out of it then that makes it better to go there than to not go there?
I like Tony, and Tony's really the only one that I like to drink with because he doesn't get stupid, and we just sit there and relax and have a few beers.
Okay, well, number one.
And g'day, George Glass. Great to see you. And also to Jake Steele, who says, fellow Aussie here, listen all the time. Well, from one Aussie to another, g'day, mate.
It's not just a few beers, and you know that.
No.
You're going to start there. Again, if you're going to be honest, you need to be completely transparent, and you can't just brush it off as if I'm just having a few beers. I go over there. I like to go over there because it's fun, but yeah, I don't like them because they take advantage of me. And a lot of bullshit happens every time I go there. So it's really contradictory, the stuff that you're saying.
That's actually exactly the words I need to use because that's exactly the way it is. It's exactly the way I feel. What you just said is exactly the way I feel. I enjoy myself when I'm over there, and I enjoy drinking with Tony, and I do have more than a few beers.
How many did you have yesterday?
Say to get away from the trash. Huh?
How many did you have yesterday?
I had 7.
Are you sure about that?
I think so.
7.
What about when you got home?
7 in the first hour, mate. Maybe.
No, I had 8.
You had 8 when you got home?
No. I had 3 over at Tony's.
Jesus Christ.
And I bought a 6-pack and came home.
So let me ask you.
So it's 9. Even though I don't believe it was that low, I believe it was more. In the space of a minute, it's gone from 7 to 9.
Let me ask you, what is it that goes on in your head that makes it okay for you to get in your car after you've been drinking?
Ignorance.
Exactly.
That's not good enough.
It's
exactly
not okay
homophobic. 7 times 4.
Get in my car after I've been drinking. I know that. That's why I don't know why I go over Tony's to drink because this is another thing. When he doesn't fucking drink anything,
G'day, Bear on a Tricycle. Good to see you, buddy. Who says, have you ever tried Carmenian cider? I hear it's like the Aussie Celsius. I've never heard of that, but I would try it if I came across it. And respect to Wildo. G'day to you. And yeah, well, and I'd like that comment. Yeah, well, say to get away from the trash. The entire place is trash, Lorne. Yes, Lorne, you will have to be more specific about what trash Sadie needs to get away from. And Evil Living Nuggets asks, Cornwall Freeway, do you think Tony and Wendy had a patch of dead grass outside their back door where Lorne went outside to pee twice an hour? I think most of their lawn was probably dead. Because from, at least from the way Lorne puts it, I don't think, lawn maintenance would be the top of the priority list for Tony and Wendy. But yes, that grass, whatever condition it was before Lorne got to it, he definitely left it in a worse position afterwards. And g'day, Ryan K.
I don't know why. It's fucking stupid. I've got so much to fucking lose, and to do something so stupid as go over there and then drive after I've been drinking. I've got so much to fucking lose.
Like, does he though? Like, I mean, what? Like, he puts it like he does have a lot to lose. Like, he really doesn't have that much to lose. And I know he's just saying this because everything he says in this call, or nearly everything he says in this call, is what he thinks, Debbie wants to hear. But in actual fact, he is in a better situation when he is in jail. And I thoroughly believe that. And I don't think there's many people you could say that about. But, like, he doesn't really have anything to lose. He's got that piece of shit trailer that he lives in. He's got no money. And all he does is waste his time talking to people that hate him. I mean, in jail, he probably has a more comfortable bed than he does at home. He can't smoke. He can't drink. Like, and I know people get smokes and alcohol in prison, but I highly doubt Lorne's the kind of person that, would be able to get his hands on that. Like, he is probably at the healthiest he is in his life after a stint in prison. He would actually... There could be a good case made for Lorne to be imprisoned permanently for both the safety of the community and his own benefit.
And I went through that with Maria today, and it blows my mind why it would be so stupid.
Well, why does it blow your mind? It can't surprise you. You do it all the time.
And g'day, Weird Versions. Great to see you too.
I never used to be like that.
What do you mean never used to be? Are we talking 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before I got incarcerated.
Okay, you're saying I was never like that, but since you've been there, you've done it a lot.
I know.
So I want to know what makes that okay. What makes it okay every single time you do it?
It's not okay. It's not okay for me to do it.
So what do you tell yourself then?
In every sense of the word, it's not okay for me to do it.
But what do you tell yourself?
Somebody, I could really ruin my life and somebody else's life. It's not okay for me to do it, and I know it. And I don't know why.
So what do you tell yourself every time you're going to do it? Because you know when you make the decision that you're going to go over there, you stop at the store, you buy everything that you guys are going to be eating and drinking. You drive over there, you know that you're going to have to get home at some point. What is the plan? The plan is, as soon as you're done with the last drop, you get in your car and you start driving.
Yeah. And it's to get away from Tony and Wendy.
Okay, so then you're gonna stop there too, because
if you want to get away from them so much, why do you go there? Okay, I know the real answer is probably, because you're lonely and these are the only people that will tolerate you. They don't like you, but you bring them beer, so they put up with you long enough to drink the beer that you bring them. But why go there if you need to get away from them so badly that you drink and drive? And g'day, call me Link. And I agree. I also can never say no to a TIF call. You had
mentioned that you like to drink with Tony, and now you're saying you want to get away from them.
Yeah, well, it's not so much Tony that I don't want to get away from. It's Wendy. She's so selfish, self-centered.
Oh, Jesus.
If you go over there without buying something for Wendy, Wendy doesn't want you there. That's why, another reason I don't know why I go over there.
once again, he misses the point. It's not like, there's this blanket rule, like, if you don't buy, if people don't buy me something, they can't come over. Like, you're kind of right, Lorne. Like, if you, Lorne Armstrong, don't buy Wendy something, she doesn't want you there. Because the real fact is, Wendy doesn't want you there. But if you buy her something, she will tolerate you, long enough for you and her husband to drink themselves into oblivion and then kick you out on your ass.
I just don't like him.
Well,
I like Tony. I like Tony, but I don't like the way he acts with taking advantage of me and with Wendy being so disrespectful to everybody. It's not unless you're her family.
And you know what, Lorne? Yes, I know that, Tony only tolerates you, but if you view Tony as your friend, well, Wendy is his wife, so you need to respect her, you asshole.
Brother go over there, she kiss his ass up and down. Friends go over there and help him out with shit, and she treats him like they're second best to her. Like a woman, she's never.
Well, this just in, guys. Some people will treat their family better than pedophiles that they can't stand. Shocking revelation.
Never had an honest day of work in her life, but it seems like everybody owes her. I don't understand why I even have anything to do with them. I'm not going to anymore because I told Maria today. When I talked to Maria today, I told her that I couldn't understand it. And she said, you want somebody to hang around, and that's understandable. But you're hanging around the wrong person. And I said, yeah, it's something I should have realized years ago. And she had me.
And g'day, Senjata MB and Sean McClure. And while I think of it, Sean McClure, I've been, loving all of your videos, and I keep meaning to reach out to book in a time to see if, we can jump on a stream together, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. So remind me before I forget again.
Do up a list of reasons why it was a bad idea.
Do you have the list?
No, she's got the list.
Okay.
I should have asked her for a copy of it.
Was it pretty long?
Well, with all the things that we were talking about, it was a good list, and there's things that I need to sort out and do right, and reasons I need to not drink and not to go over Tony's, not to hang around Tony. The biggest reason was because he takes advantage of me. He doesn't respect me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nothing but a free beer to him.
Mm-hmm.
And g'day, Brian Kane, and I do think that's a good point. Brian says, I think he goes there because he associates drinking alone as being an alcoholic, and he won't admit that he is. So he'll pay for friends and risk people's lives by driving home drunk. I think that is correct.
And someone that he can use for borrowing tools and to help when he actually can do shit himself. He puts on this fucking pathetic, pitiful story of how my back hurts. And he puts his hand on his back like it really hurts. And no goddamn well it doesn't.
So you're not going to associate with him anymore?
No.
At all?
He's going to come over for the yard sale. I told them they could come over, bring the stuff over for the yard sale. I mean, I can still be friends with them, just not hang around with them. I can text with them, but not go over.
Okay.
Not go over, not drink with them, not buy beer for them. I'm not going to let him use my tools. If he wants to use my pressure washer, he can come over here to use it. It's not going over his house.
Yeah, he can bring his house to you, Lorne. Just hook that house up to the trailer, to your car, and drive it over to Lorne's to use the pressure washer.
Last year I let him use it, and I brought it over so he could use it, and he was supposed to spray his house down, wash his house down with it. He had the fucking thing there for 2 months. And I kept telling him, Tony, you going to use that goddamn thing sometime today or this year or what? When he finally used it, it took him 6 hours to do half of his house. I was so friggin' pissed because I wound up all summer without it because he just had it over there, not doing anything with it. So I'm not going to let him do that again. He wants to use it again. I tell him, you use it over here. You're taking over your house.
Okay. And what else did Maria say? Why isn't she giving you a breathalyzer?
Because she wants me to be able to talk about things. If I feel like I'm going to drink, she wants me to be able to talk to someone.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter who it is you talk to. Make sure it's somebody that's close to you that knows what stuff you're going through.
Okay.
Call me and you can talk to me. So if it's Dwayne, that class, the counselor at class that you want to call, and talk to him, even if they have voicemail on his machine.
Mm-hmm.
She said if it's anybody else, and somebody else that you want to talk to about things, and then talk to them about it.
Mm-hmm.
She said if you mess up, then at least call me and tell me or text me that you messed up and you need to talk. But I don't want to mess up. I hate when I mess up because I create a mess. It's like yesterday, I was so happy yesterday because me and Roy was working. We got a lot of stuff done, cleaning up the yard and everything. We got a lot of stuff done. And I was so proud of everything that we got done.
Mm-hmm.
Then I took and fucked up, went over to Tony's. When I took Roy home, I went over to Tony's after that. And I'm sorry I fucked up. Sorry for going over there when I told you I wouldn't.
Well, don't apologize to me.
She don't give a shit, Lorne. And g'day, Jeff W. and Juniper.
I promised you that I wouldn't drink.
Yeah, but I knew it was going to happen.
I didn't want it to happen. I'm stupid for fucking up.
The one thing that I know is that life isn't about being perfect. And there's a difference between, like, I think sometimes you think in terms of being perfect as like, I'm promising that I'm not going to drink again. And I'm not perfect though, so I'm going to. I'm going to go over Tony's. I'm going to drive drunk. Whatever it is that you're promising, you give yourself a little bit of an out because you say you're not perfect. And there's a difference between things that, are just a matter of being human that make us unperfect. And then there's other things that are intentionally done. When you're thinking about an act and then you go and complete it, you can't toss that up and say, well, I'm not perfect. I know I promised, but I'm not perfect. So it's kind of like, I'm not perfect, so I'm not going to be in a good mood every single day. Or I'm not perfect, so sometimes I'll wake up on a Saturday and I don't feel like doing anything. I feel like hanging around, watching Netflix, not doing the whole entire to-do list that I normally have planned. But those types of things are just kind of like human nature. And we toss it up to just going with the day. And it's not a big deal because it's not having a major impact on our life.
Yeah, but with me messing up, it has a major impact on my life.
It does. And the other thing along with that is that you're doing things intentionally. The things aren't just happening. You're not just waking up in the morning drunk. You're driving to the store. You're buying everything with money that you don't have. You're driving over to Tony's. You're sitting there. They're pissing you off because you know that they're taking advantage of you. They're making comments. Wendy's being disrespectful. You get in your car as soon as you're done. You drive drunk. You come home. You start disrespecting everyone, including me. And then the tears start. And you say, I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I mean, what is there to not understand? It's so clear. It's like every single thing. It seems like your answer when you're questioned about it is, I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, are you just somebody who's floating in the breeze? Like, oh, the breeze is taking me the other way. I'm going to the liquor store. Oops.
Whoops.
A beer. Oh my gosh. How did this beer get in my hand and why am I drinking it? I have no idea.
It's all that unintentional travel. He didn't mean to go to the Sting House. It was the wind. I mean, if it hadn't been such a windy night, it probably never happened. And I just wanted to point out Ilrig saying, I like how now that we're in the future, we can see he learned nothing of this really good advice. He's still using the I'm not perfect Jamie defense in 2021. And that is exactly right. Like, I mean, and this is really good advice that he is being given here. And that's the thing. Like, with all the therapy, like, court ordered therapy and classes and that he's been ordered to have, if he actually bought into that, and even if he won't do that, if he had just listened to the advice that Tiffany's giving him here, he would have made some kind of improvements by now. But he can't and he won't. He will be, if he lives to 90 or whatever, he'll still be 90, still be getting catfished by, I don't know, fucking the reincarnation of Cleopatra or some shit, whatever the next thing they fool him about, and still be saying the same thing. Well, I'm not fucking perfect, Cleopatra. You try to hold me up to a standard that, people make mistakes, Fucking, you're not so perfect with your fucking asps.
This is what messes me up, though, because I drank. I wasn't thinking about anything. I was happy. I wasn't thinking about anything from my past. And everything today came out.
And g'day, James
again,
Sanders.
And everything that I said to you last night, everything that I did, the way I treated you, the way I treated Wendy, the way it just friggin' went off the handle. And all I could think about is, why does anybody want to have anything to do with me with the fucking past that I had?
So
fucking charge bothers me so fucking much.
Again.
Yeah.
Anything to do with me with the fucking past that I had.
So
fucking charge bothers me so fucking much.
Yeah, as it should.
My fucking charge bothers me so fucking much. Fucking Cleopatra pointing out he's false.
I mean, I think that there's a lot of people that are going to be in your shoes. Some of them are sitting in prison because they killed someone. Some people are sitting in prison because they were driving drunk and they killed someone. That could be it. They could have stolen a crap ton of money from someone and now they have that guilt too. They can have charges that they don't just go away. They're not swept under the rug. And these are the types of things that shouldn't be. What you did should not be swept under the rug, ever.
Marie tells me that I need to get past it and I need to move on in my life. And all I can tell is, do you realize what I fucking did?
Well, she's not.
I don't believe this. I don't believe he is saying to Maria, do you realize what I did? And I also don't believe, once again, he's missing the point. Like, she's not saying, hey, Lorne, just forget about it. We all, we all fuck up. Don't worry about it. She's saying you need to start making improvements in your life. You need to move on. If she's saying you need to move on with your life, she's meaning in the way that, okay, you can't change what you've done. You have a lot of work to be safe to the community and to, have anything close to a decent life yourself. You need to start doing that rather than just sitting here bullshitting us. That is what is being said to him. Not, oh, Lorne, you need to move on. Hey, you tried to fuck a couple of kids, It happens, mate.
Talking about
yeah, I realize what you did, but I realize what you did, but you can't kill you. Beat
and g'day, Lewis C.
yourself up for it all your life.
Well, there's a difference there, though. There's a difference of saying, I did something terrible. I did something so bad. And I can look at the bright side of it, too, and say, it turned out a lot better than it could have, with there being an actual victim that you then would have to be responsible for. But, there's a matter of drawing a line in the sand and saying there's nothing that you can do to go backwards. Are you going to hate it every day? Yes, absolutely. And you should hate it every day. But you have to go on with your life. You have to wake up again the next morning and you have to do all the things that make up your life, whether it's take care of your dogs, go to work, talk to your mom, take care of your house, you do have to move on. Absolutely. But there's a
Exactly, Bunny. Bunny says, why does he talk about Maria like she's a mentor of some kind? She's there to supervise and make sure he isn't breaking any laws and going after children. Exactly right. But, you know, if you listen to him and you didn't know anything about this, you would think Maria is some kind of, you know, mentor or some kind of, you know, life coach.
difference because there's going to be no forgetting it, and you never should forget. I think that it would be scary if you did forget. If you said, you know what, this is something that I did 10 years ago, fuck off if you have a problem with it.
No, I can't be like that because I have a problem with it.
You should, absolutely, and that's good.
Not
I'm
something
glad.
I ever wanted to do or ever.
Nope, stop right there. Stop.
I mean,
Stop.
what I'm saying.
Nope, stop.
You have to stop.
Wait a second. I'm not going to let you do this again.
You gotta let me finish.
No, you have to let me finish first.
Okay.
I don't want to hear.
She doesn't have to do shit, Lord.
I didn't want to go. I don't want to hear that. Really, what it comes down to is I didn't want to be that guy who did that. Because
that is what I'm saying.
Okay, wait a minute. Because you know what that means. You know what people think. You know what people think when they think about you and when they hear about you. You don't want to be that guy, but you were that guy. That's what you have to accept. You can't be in denial and say, I'm not like them. I'm not like the other guys who went there. Because you were exactly like them, Lorne.
I know, it bothers me.
It should bother you.
It bothers me.
But here's the thing.
I've never in my life wanted to be that guy that did that.
You were that guy. That's what you have to.
You weren't wanting to get caught. That's the real truth here.
No.
Accept.
That's not so easy to accept, though.
You have to. You have to accept it.
It's not easy to live with.
I know, but you have to. All of this time that you've been saying to yourself, I didn't want to go there, has been blocking you. And it's blocking everyone from being able to move on from it too. I would be almost willing to bet that that's the reason why you're still in that class. Because you're still differentiating yourself from everyone else who's there as if you don't belong, and you do. The punishment that you've gone through is well deserved. The fact that you have to be inconvenienced and have to be on a registry and have to have your picture taken, go through all of this stuff, not being allowed to be like a regular citizen and to have access to things like the internet, which is something that is pretty needed. You know, it's important for everyday life. I know I use it all the time. I do everything on there, banking, all kinds of stuff. So the fact that you're kind of grounded from that, like you can't have
banking, booking cruises, all that kind of stuff.
this, you can't have that privilege and that freedom to be able to do it because you can't be trusted. Until you prove that you can be trusted, legitimately trusted. And I'm not talking about just words, because we know that your words have been bullshit this whole time. But I'll say it again because it's really important, Lorne. You can't say I didn't want to go there anymore. It doesn't work.
I know what you're saying. It's not.
I never want to hear you say that again.
I won't say that again.
What are you going to say instead?
I never wanted to be the guy that did that.
So he's just put that guy in front of that. It's like, I never want to say that you never meant to do that or you didn't want to do that again. Oh, no, I won't. I never wanted to be the guy that did that. Like, oh, nailed it, Lorne. And g'day, Derek. Derek.
It's actually the words that I've
You've got a lot to answer for, Derek.
always meant to say. Never said it.
I think that even that was going to be too hard for you to say. I think that you really did mean, I didn't want to go there. Those were the types of things that you wanted everyone else to hear. Because like I was saying before, you want to differentiate yourself from everyone else. You see people that were on the show, like this Lurch guy that you talk about, how disgusting. The people who have been convicted of molesting other children. People who have been caught before. There was one guy who showed up at the house and then the very next day showed up again. Not at the same house, but it was the same, the same operation. So there, there's guys who walked in naked. There's guys who brought alcohol and all kinds of stuff. I mean, but you have to understand that you're no different from them. You were just as dangerous. You were a predator.
That's not what I wanted, though.
I know. Nope. When you say that's not what I wanted, you have to change those words in order for them to be actually correct.
But I need you to listen to what I'm saying, though.
I will listen. And then I'll correct you.
When I was, even when I was sitting there talking on the computer, I never wanted. In my head, I knew I didn't want to go to the sing house.
Okay, what does that mean? Why not?
Just because it was just something to do, just sit there and talk to someone, and she made me feel like she cared.
Okay, but wait a minute.
So that's interesting because that would really fly in the face of what you said in the chat log repeatedly about how excited you were to go there, and we aren't going to be able to wait very long until we see each other in person, precious. And the countdown, 16 more days, 15 more days, 14 more days, 30 more days, precious. One more day, precious. Tell me if there's much woods around your house so I can hide my shitty van. Get more information about when your parents are leaving so I can come there. But don't act too excited because they'll get to thinking something's up. Like, yeah, interesting, dickhead.
After being so used by my family and feeling like nobody cared.
Okay, but wait a minute.
And that's what kept me talking.
Okay, but wait a minute. What do you mean you didn't want to go there? Why not?
I mean, I did not want to go to the
And g'day, Lethal Brownie and the ghost of Tony Farmer. Great to see you both.
Sting house.
But why not?
I sit there and talk all day, but I didn't know why because I knew in my head that it was wrong.
Okay, why was it wrong?
Then because she was underage. She was 13.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't wrong all of those days where you basically had your camera on your penis for her, and how you lamented when your buggy neighbours would come over because that means that you couldn't get naked for that 13-year-old, and you love being naked for her, and you know that she loves it too. Or talk her through her experimenting, which was teaching a child how to masturbate. So all that, nothing wrong with that. Just you never wanted to go there.
And it was wrong for me to do that.
Right.
It was wrong for me to do everything that I did on there. But in my head, I was telling myself, I'm not really going to go.
And exactly, Sean McClure. It's not that he didn't want to go there. It's that he didn't want to go there and get caught.
There, so I'm just talking to her. Then it got out of hand.
Really,
doing
really
what
quickly.
I was thinking. And I wanted to do it.
Okay. Can I ask you something? And we
Yeah.
had touched upon it the last time that we talked. The first time that you were talking to her, the very first day, when she said she was 13 and you were talking about how you're a good guy, don't talk to any other guys.
G'day, Crocker.
And then it turned very quickly and you said something like, did you ever hear anything in this room that made you say, wow? And what you were talking about was like, I'm assuming that they were, could say something sexual in the regular chat room
Yes.
that you guys were hanging out in. Okay. So that was your first
Oh, hey, Honest. Great to see you.
line.
Yeah.
because that's what you were gunning for.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about you were feeling low because of experiences that you had with your family and your life was spinning out of control, there was a lot of stuff against you. You had that whole situation with Betty's house that happened, and you had to bail out of there. So you went to Nashville, and then you were getting on the computer,
And
and
I'm streaming about middle of my day, honest, but later than I usually do, and I know it's quite late for most of you guys.
so before it started turning into something about being in love with each other, it turned sexual before then. So I want to know, why did that happen? Knowing that she was 13, what turned you on about that?
I don't know. I'm being honest with you. I don't know.
I want you to think about it then. It did turn you on.
The thing is, I think about it all the time. Why would I allow myself to do that?
Okay. So not only, there's two different things
It's
that
not what I
happened.
wanted to do.
Well, there's two different things. There's two different things that happened. There is something that is going on in your mind where you're getting turned on by something. And then there's the actual expression of that. So.
And g'day, all the way absurd and Lulu Bop 19. Great to see you both.
There was something.
And I missed you too, guys, Tony Farmer.
About Kayla that turned you on. You knew in your mind, you're thinking, I'm turned on by this, but I know that I shouldn't do this. This is pretty out there. I would definitely get in trouble if somebody knew. But I'm turned on.
But I still went there.
Well, it's not even going there. It's I'm talking about the very first thing when you said, did anyone say something that made you say, wow? So it was fresh in your mind.
I was trying to find out if she saw anybody say anything sexual in the room.
Okay. And
that made her say, wow.
And
it's a question.
Why would that be? Because you wanted to find out if she liked it.
Maybe. I'm not gonna say no, because it's quite possible that was the reason. Something messed up at the time.
It is. There's no other reason. Like, this isn't like the Jeff Stacey thing where I ask people that all the time. Like, it's not like you just walk around and you walk into someone and say, hey man, you ever been on the internet? Ever seen anyone say anything perverted on there? It's pretty crazy, eh? Like that's not the case, Lorne. You just wanted to see her reaction to it. Or you were trying to judge her reaction. So when you said, have you ever seen anyone say anything perverted on there? And if she was like, oh yeah, I have, and it's so gross. I saw something and I nearly left the internet forever. Then you would have taken that to mean, okay, all right, Lorne, tuck the pecker away for a few hours. You're really going to need to work her into this. Or alternatively, if you're like, have you ever seen anyone say anything perverted on there? And she was like, yeah, I have, and wow, I probably shouldn't like it, but I really did. Then you'd be like, all right, Mr. Penis, it's your time to shine. That's all you were doing.
No. Sorry.
Okay, you're going back to your normal. Okay, well, I'm going to help you try to understand it. You're going back to the same things you always say. I was messed up at the time. I don't understand. I didn't want to. And like I said,
don't understand because I've never been like that.
But I'm going to help you.
I've never done that.
Lorne, I'm going to help you. Hopefully understand. In order for that to happen, you have to take that away because that is your protection.
And you're right, Jeff W., who says, I really appreciate that Jeff Stacey and Jeff Sokol have ruined my first name. They really haven't done much of a service to Jeffs of the world, have they?
Using those things to protect you and be like, no. Thinking that I'm a child predator is way too scary. So I need to throw on the things of, that wasn't me. I was really messed up at the time. A lot of shit happened. My family, blah, 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 blah. That's your protection, and you have to take it away because I need to help you understand why.
Lord, are you crying?
I don't understand how I could do something so disgusting when I've spent my whole life protecting kids.
Okay. So
It's
one
so
of the
fucked
things
up.
one of the things that I had mentioned last time too is that the internet provides a platform, or it provided a platform for you to kind of touch into this fantasy that you had in your mind. Something that you wouldn't be able to just do in your normal everyday life because that would be way too scary. Approaching a girl who's 13 years old and talking sexually, saying something that could scare her so that she tells someone, that's way too much. And that's like there would be immediate consequences to that, either by parents or schools. The cops would be knocking at your door. End of story. But somebody who's on the internet, it's again another safety net. Somewhere that you would be able to engage in that and be turned on, be able to talk about stuff that turns you on that you wouldn't normally be able to do. That's where that came into play.
Because
So
it
that,
wasn't a real thing.
no, it's not that it wasn't a real thing, but it wasn't something that you were engaging in your with the people around you. So you weren't just going to a playground and chatting it up with a 13-year-old girl. You were doing it in the safety of your home where you could hide. And if something scary happened, like, you know, she says that she's scared or her dad gets on or something like that, you could just shut down your computer and completely throw it away or something like that.
I don't
So
know why I didn't think then why it wouldn't affect anybody with me just doing that.
okay, so
When it
that's the
affects so many
reason
people.
why you did it, is because you didn't think it was going to affect anybody. More importantly, it wasn't going to affect you directly, with the scariest part of the whole scenario is getting caught.
Yeah, that's definitely the scariest part of the whole thing, and I know that.
Okay. So then being on the internet took that away. So now that we know that part, I want you to tell me. I want you to tell
how I could
me.
bring myself to do that.
Well, it just ties into what we just talked about. I think it was you felt safe doing it. Being on the internet made it safe for you. So now that that safety net was there, I want you to tell me what turned you on about Kayla.
It's because somebody was paying attention to me and not wanting something from me.
It never even got to that point, though.
G'day, Lorne's plywood door. Hashtag plywood justice.
I'm talking about the very first time that you talked to her, because you're talking about
first time. Well, okay, see, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, don't get all shirty, Lorne. It's not going to go well for you if you get all shirty.
Because when I first started talking to her, I really meant to be just a nice person, just to give her somebody to talk to.
Would you have done the
That's
same?
what I say when I said I never meant to.
Okay. Would you have done the same for a 13-year-old boy?
So he started talking sexually within 20 minutes, but he just wanted to be a nice person for her. Like, now, if I'm not mistaken, it was the very first night where he showed her his tiny little dink. I don't know about anyone else, but, you know, adult or child, I'm not sure what part of caring for someone involves exposing yourself.
I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have.
Why not?
Because it was a boy.
Okay. And you're not.
Isn't that interesting? So he only wanted to care about her, but he wouldn't have done that for a boy. So it was nothing sexual. There was no sexual intention. But if Kayla, you know, happened to be Carl, he wouldn't have got the same care in italics. And it just amazes me here that, I mean, when he's pressed, and sorry, sorry for the spoiler, but I know I've all heard this call before. When he's pressed on that, he's like, well, because it was a boy. In other words, he's saying, well, I wouldn't have done that because I'm not gay. I'm not fucking gay. So even in this, where he is trying to, I don't know, impress Debbie with, how honest he's been or whatever, and he is more comfortable with admitting that he is, well, not that he admits it, but basically insinuating that he is a pedophile than he is homosexual. That says a fuckload about this piece of shit, in my opinion.
Attracted to boys.
Right.
Okay, so that sort of chips away at the I wanted to be a nice guy story.
Yeah, because
Okay. So then I want you to continue, and I want you to explain what turned you on about Kayla. After all of that, I want to be a nice guy. Don't ever give anyone your name. Stuff like that. Because we're still talking about the very first day. Tell me what turned you on about Kayla so that you turned on your camera and showed her your penis.
this is so hard for me to talk about.
I understand.
No one cares.
And I understand that it's really hard for you because you know what it means. You know what it's saying about you.
That I had bad intentions right from the beginning.
What were the bad intentions?
To have sex with a 13-year-old girl.
Okay.
Jesus.
So tell me what turned you on about that.
Just the thought of it, I guess.
Okay. So what's the thought of it?
Just the thought of it.
What about the thought of it is exciting to you?
I don't know.
I know it's really hard to talk about. I know that it is. And I think that, yeah. But this is what Maria's talking about, you moving on. You have to get past this stuff. You have to get it out. I'm sure that it's been bothering you this whole time. I'm sure it was bothering you back then. You had these thoughts in the back of your mind. They were there. It didn't just all of a sudden happen that night. You had them. And that's such a burden. Because there's a side of you that knows. You know that you didn't want to be that guy. So I want you to keep pushing. You're a lot stronger than this to just stop yourself.
He just wants to keep crying because I think when he was a kid, this kind of act worked. Like, he just keep crying, and either Mama Gwen would feel sorry for him or just get sick of hearing about it. So she'd be like, all right, Lorne, don't worry about it.
The thought of having sex with an underage girl that was a virgin.
Okay. And what was exciting about that for you?
Just because she was an underage girl that was a virgin.
And why did that excite you, Lorne?
So about it being an underage girl who's a virgin, what were the types of feelings that you were having about that when you would think about it? Like, what was something in particular that turned you on when you were thinking about this? When you were having your moments alone, what would you think about?
Oh, God, that is fucking hard to talk about.
I know.
Stop saying it's hard, Lorne. We all know that it's semi-hard, but stop saying it. And g'day, Hardcore Poetry and Slothcat. Great to see you both.
But like I said, it's going to be freeing for you. It's something that it has to happen, Lorne.
I've never gone this in depth talking about it with any.
And Jesse's Comedy Teacup channel says they stand with Lorne. So just remember that, everyone. Jesse stands by the pedo.
Anyone.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're able to do that today. So I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to keep going. What did you imagine when you're having these fantasies? When you imagine yourself back then, what did you fantasize about? I know we said a younger girl, underage, who was a virgin. Tell me about that.
Oh, God. Just her being naked, and me being naked with her, and me trying to be gentle with her,
and Vast, you can have a wrench. I've just given you one, but don't get rid of her. I'm more than happy for Jessie to keep showing what a absolute scumbag she is by saying these things. So nobody kick her, please.
What was that?
Oh, God, you didn't hear it?
I didn't hear the very last part. You said being gentle with her, and then I think it might have cut out or something. What else did you
Trying to
say?
be good, and trying to be good for her.
What do you mean good for her?
I mean, being gentle with her.
Okay. So you wanted to give her her first experience.
Yeah.
And what was exciting about that?
And he says this a lot about, the turn on was wanting to be gentle for her. And my only take on that can be that, he loved the fact that he would have to be gentle with her because she was so young and so innocent and so inexperienced. Like it's that he likes. Like, so he knows that he would have to, be so gentle, and that really turns him on. And that's really fucking disgusting.
I guess it just being her first experience.
Do you think that would make you an important part of her life?
Maybe that was part of it. Maybe because I wanted to show her that I cared, like she was showing me that she cared.
Okay. And what else attracted you to her?
Her hair.
And how quick was that? Like, he has struggled for so many answers here, like, just repeating the same thing over and over, umming and ahhing, kind of seeing what he thinks will be, acceptable to say, but that's straight out, like, and, just whatever Debbie said there about, and what attracted you to her hair. Like, he couldn't wait to get that out.
What, like her blonde hair, you mean?
Yeah. Because I like blonde.
Okay.
And she was showing me that she cared about me, and that meant a lot to me at the time.
Well, that happened later. That happened later because you had about a month to talk to her before.
G'day, Mistress Von Floofington.
Everything happened at the end. So
at first it was just me being horny.
You were horny. Okay. And how did you feel when you found Kayla? That must have been really exciting for you.
What do you mean, how did I feel when I found Kayla?
Well, I mean...
He's already covered that, Debbie. Horny. Horny is how he felt when he found Kayla.
She's 13. She's exactly what you were looking for.
No, that's where I got to start, because she was not what I was looking for. I wasn't out looking for a 13-year-old. When I went in the chat room, I went in an adult chat room. I didn't go in a teeny bopper chat room.
Right.
Look, and I'm not one to defend Lorne, but in his defense here, guys, we all know that, he was in an adult chat room, and to get into those chat rooms, you've got to produce your birth certificate to prove that you are, over 18, and you've also got to have a one-on-one meeting with the president of Yahoo so he can verify your age. So, he's got a point there.
I
I was
understand
not
that.
looking. I was not looking for that.
Right. But you found her, though. So when
Yeah.
you found her, how did you feel? Were you thinking like, oh, finally, this is my ultimate fantasy that I can't tell anybody about?
The stuff that I'm talking to you about, I've never gone in depth with anybody, including Emma or Winnie,
Okay.
with this stuff.
What about
Like
with
this.
Allie?
With Allie, I'd never got this in depth with Allie about it either.
And g'day, Tickle Pea Shivers, master of spooky season, and After Supper Biscuit. Great to see you both.
I've never been in depth with it with class to go this deep into my thoughts.
I can tell you that they probably already know your thoughts, and they've been waiting to hear them.
Well, they've heard some of them. They haven't heard this in depth.
But that's what they're waiting for.
I have a problem going this in depth because I hate thinking myself doing what I do.
Right. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. You just do it.
Yeah, like ripping off duct tape.
What?
Yeah, duct tape.
What? I don't understand what he is saying there. Like ripping off duct tape. Like, is he either like? I just like thinking back to where he wrote in Taken Abroad, tying up his victims, hands and mouth or whatever with duct tape. Like, is he going to which is I think what he's probably saying is that Lorne doesn't have money for Band-Aids. You gotta cut. You put some duct tape on that.
But you just do it because it has to be done. It has to be done. And that's how you can get the help that you need.
And g'day, 180 degrees.
When you're talking to Allie, or when you're talking to your class, and when you were talking to Emma, you knew these things.
Hey, Dan, he's my man.
In the back of your mind. You knew that they were there. And it was way too scary for you to say them. And unfortunately, the flip side to that is that they're not able to then help you in the best way that they can.
It's hard for me to deal with. It's hard for me to live with. It's not the guy that I ever wanted to be.
Right. And unfortunately, the internet gave you that ability to be that guy.
And he says this too, like, it's not the guy I wanted to be. Like, of course not. Like, it's such a redundant thing to say. Like, no one's suggesting that, when you were a kid and, at school they'll ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And, it's going around the room and, people saying, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a veterinarian, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a fireman. And it gets to Lorne and you're saying, I want to be a pedophile. Like, no one's suggesting that. Like, people, everyone would know that you wouldn't want to be this. No one would want to be this. But it's your actions that made you this.
I'm fucking mad at myself for doing that.
When did you start getting mad at yourself?
When I did it.
What do you mean right when you did it?
When Chris Hansen walked out.
Okay.
I was like, fuck. What the fuck is going on? Well, at first I was really nervous. I was like, well, who the fuck is this? I didn't know Chris Hansen. I'd never seen the show before.
Well, yeah, but it was
just for you, After Supper Biscuit. I'm sitting on my ass in my chair. And g'day, Jeremy Jaswinski.
It was an adult, and you weren't expecting an adult.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought was either her father or a cop. I didn't know who Chris Hansen was. I'd never seen him before in my life.
That's fine, but like I said, it was an adult male walking out.
Yeah.
Who was obviously going to know why you were there.
Yeah.
So you were mad at yourself for getting caught.
I was mad at myself for getting caught. I was mad at myself for going there to begin with. So I knew better. I even said that in the conversation.
What did you say?
I could wind up going to jail because of it. I said that earlier in the conversation.
So you're trying to make excuses by saying that, you said that you could go to jail. So proving that not only are you aware that what you're doing is wrong, but you're fully aware of what the consequence and punishment will be if caught. And g'day, father-son.
Okay.
I knew better than to do it. And that's one of the reasons it's so hard for me to think about me doing it, because I knew better, and I was one of the reasons I didn't want to do it.
But the chance that she was real was better. It was a lot stronger. Because you couldn't pass up that opportunity.
And it's sick.
It's very sick.
One of the reasons I don't understand how I could possibly do that is because what I went through when I was a kid.
Oh, here we go.
I knew how hard it was to live with it.
But that wasn't what you were thinking about when you were talking to her.
And, and I've said this many times, but it bears saying again. If Lorne actually was, molested when he was a child, as he claims here and a few other times, then it doesn't excuse what he did, because that there is no excuse. And plenty of people have unfortunately had that happen to them, and they have not gone on to be a predator themselves. And if that happened, I would feel sorry for, young Lorne that happened to. But I firmly believe that it didn't happen, because that's when he was caught at the Sting House, the Amanda James story. That was his story for sympathy. That was, oh shit, I am in big trouble here. I need to pull the saddest thing that has ever happened to me that can somehow excuse this to try to get out of it. So if he had been molested, that would have been what came out there. Because not only the fact that is obviously a lot sadder story than some, random who stole Dale Earnhardt merchandise off you, but it would also be, I guess, a lot more relevant. Like even someone as stupid as Lorne could see that, this is the story to tell to get the sympathy I need here.
No, it's not.
So none of that stuff came up in your mind?
No.
It wasn't the pain that it could cause her, or the sadness, the regret that she would have had after?
Or the hurt it would cause her.
Especially because you were saying that you were in love with her and that you were going to get married.
Yeah.
Were you serious about that?
No, I wasn't talking about marrying her right then.
I know. Well, you couldn't, because it would have been illegal. You would have been found out if you tried to marry her right then.
Yeah. When I said that, I meant when she was 18. That's what I meant when I said that. And actually, I think I said that in the conversation.
Well, yeah. It wouldn't have been able to.
And exactly as Debbie's about to say, wouldn't have been able to. Like, your whole when we're 18, well, you're not allowed to marry people under 18, Lorne. And g'day to Derek Montgomery. Oh my God, sorry, Derek Montgomery and Egbert, and Patrick.
Happened really before then. So in your mind, you were thinking, I'm going to have this relationship with her for 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why the hell I was thinking that. That I knew that wouldn't work. I really hate myself for doing that.
One of the things that I was thinking about that made me sad, out of the millions of things that made me sad about this situation, was that Kayla's first experience with a man, even just verbally, the things that he told her were going to turn out to be lies. She would have had to feel at 13 years old that a man will say whatever he thinks that she wants to hear in order to have sex with her.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
It's devastating.
Hey, g'day, Kelly Slimebucket Witch Lady. Always great to see you.
Pretty selfish.
It's extremely selfish.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I think that, in all honesty, the entire conversation was about you being horny. It wasn't about finding someone who cared about you or not wanting your money. It was all about your dick.
And that's what it wound up being, 'cause that's all I said.
That's all that you said, and that's all that you showed her. Like I said,
And once again, he says, that's what it wound up being. Like as if, they talked for months and months and months, and eventually he moved it to that. Like, he can't say it wound up being to that when it got to that within 20 minutes of the conversation. That was the conversation. That's all it was.
last time as well, I talked about this a lot with Winnie, and I read through the chat, and so much of it is burned into my head. Once again, when you're talking about emotions, and I found somebody who was paying attention to me, and that's why I kept talking to her. Again, that's a protection that you're using for yourself to differentiate yourself from the other predators.
I never thought of it like that. It sucks to have to live with it.
G'day, Caleb.
That's a piece of shit I was.
Mm-hmm. And that's not an easy thing for people to get past.
No, it isn't. It's not. I can't get past that. I think about every fucking day.
I'm talking about everyone else.
Well, I know it's affected me, my life, a lot because people haven't gotten past it. I can't get past it.
Well, of course, but you're still talking about how it affects you.
Every fucking day I think about it.
What do you think about?
I think about why did I do it?
Well, we already talked about why you did it. We talked about why you did it. It's because you wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old. That was your fantasy.
How I can bring myself to do it is what I'm saying.
G'day, Hugo Bin.
Because I knew it was wrong. And it's not something that I didn't want to be that guy that did that kind of thing. I knew how much hurt it would cause that person because I had to live with it myself. I was so fucking disgusted by it. I know you don't want me to say this again, but I knew I did not want to go to the house. But I still went there.
16 more days, Precious.
Why?
We aren't going to be able to wait long to see each other, Precious.
Did you go there?
Because the thought of having sex with an underage girl turned.
And see you later, Ghost Tony Farmer. And g'day to Cybersqueak, who says, hi, Cornville and everyone, and go fuck yourself, Jesse. Cyber always has the best entrances.
Me off.
Right. So the answer of I didn't want to go there doesn't apply.
Yes, you're right. Because I didn't want to go there. I just didn't want to get caught.
Right. That's where all the planning came in.
What a fucking piece of shit.
Yep. You were a predator.
Yeah, as much as I hate fucking saying that.
Well, you didn't say it. I did.
No. You said it, but I know. It's fucked up.
I think you should say it yourself.
I love this bit.
I was a predator. No sense of me not saying it because everything I did says that I was.
That's exactly it.
Ashamed of it. So fucking ashamed of it. Disgusted by it. Ashamed of it. Grossed out by it. Hurt by it.
So out of the two possible situations that it could have been, in that Kayla was a real 13-year-old girl.
Sorry, it isn't this bit. I can't remember what bit in the call it is, and I think it's this call, but the bit where he's like, where she's telling him that he's got to say it, and he's like, I don't want to say it. She's like, you say it, like he's the little child that he is just so amazing. And g'day, Turd Ferguson and Matt Ryan.
You had been exposing yourself to, that you had been talking about molesting her and participating in her rape. There's a possibility that she was real. And then the other possibility is that she was a grown woman sitting behind a computer, wasting your time in the hopes that you're going to be talking to her and not running into another 13-year-old.
I'm happy that I got caught. I'm happy it was a sting. I'm happy that I didn't get...
You sound really happy that you were caught. That's all every time, everything I've heard since you getting caught is I just go, this guy is stoked.
the chance to hurt anyone.
And not only
But
that,
you did hurt someone. You hurt MySpace Molly. You hurt all the other kids that I know that you talk to that we don't have full confirmation about. If Kayla was real, if it wasn't a decoy, before showing up, you had already hurt them. More than you could ever comprehend.
not only showing up, and I know that that's obviously a
G'day,
huge
Aussie Pines Explorer.
deal. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. The damage to Kayla started way before you drove up her driveway.
I know.
The damage to Kayla started when you asked her if she knew what rape was. When you established yourself as a safe person to talk to. When you were the exact opposite.
Yeah, I know.
These are the things that you have to verbalize. You have to say them out loud and you have to admit them.
The damage that started to her was when I started talking sexually to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna deny it and not say it because I know it. I know it.
Yeah.
Exactly, Kelly. So they were tears of joy when you got caught. Well, we were all wrong. Here I thought he was, having a breakdown, but he was just weeping for joy. Thank you, Chris. They must have NBC must have edited that out. They must have edited out all the bits where it was like, Chris, I cannot thank you enough. This is the greatest day of my life. You have saved me from hurting anyone. Where are those cops? Let me at them because I am just so happy. And g'day, my balls itch.
Hurts like hell that I'm that kind of guy.
That's the guy who still needs help because he's never gotten away from you. He's been stuck there. You've been trying to suppress him. And he's not able to leave.
Jesus, what is he doing?
That guy, I don't know.
Is that blowing his nose?
I don't know how that guy's ever going to be up to leave because he thinks about it all the time.
Well, I don't mean leaving.
I have a hard time letting people in because of what I did.
Yeah. And the opposite is going to be true as well. People are going to have
You have a hard time letting people in. You, Lorne, the person that will talk to anyone that calls up and you share your fucking social security number with. You have a hard time letting people in. That is rich.
really hard time letting you in.
Sucks having to live with this shit.
Sucks.
I think that you're exhausted because you've been in denial for so many years.
It's hard to talk about.
I know. It is. The worst thing that you can do at this point, Lorne, now that you've started to talk about exactly what you were thinking that first night with Kayla, the worst thing that you can do is go backwards.
I don't want to go backwards. That's part of the reason for me going over to Tony and Wendy's, because they don't judge me. They just let me be me while I'm there.
Are you sure about that?
Well, as far as Tony doesn't judge me.
Well, Tony,
Wendy,
Winnie told me
he probably does.
that he actually laughs at you about getting arrested.
Oh, yeah, he did. But he tried teasing me about it until he realized that it pissed me off. There's a lot of anger when I get out, and a lot of it was towards Tony, and Tony's actually the one that I took it out on. So I'd go over there, and we'd get drunk. I said things to him that I'd been wanting to say for years, and he knew I was right in saying everything.
You're mad at Tony for what reason? I have no idea how you trying to fuck a kid and getting arrested for that has anything to do with Tony. But in any case, you're upset with Tony. So to really stick it to him, you regularly go over there and buy him beer to drink. So wow, you sure showed him, Lord.
That's it. We get to the point where we push each other around outside, push me on the ground and piss me off, so I get up and push him down too. Come there, motherfucker. Try to fucking push me again. Kind of surprised him because he didn't realize that. So I wound up pushing him on the ground.
So, so from my understanding, Tony is either in a wheelchair or close to it. Like, Tony is essentially, if not disabled, in very, very poor health. And Lorne is talking about how not only the fact that he's beating up what is either someone in very poor health or, you know, someone who is wheelchair bound. And I'm sorry, I honestly can't remember which it is. But he's, I guess, bragging that he managed to come out on top.
We hit each other.
I think that a lot of your anger was displaced, like it was being placed in different people, in different situations, because you didn't.
And g'day, Joey, and also Edge of the Chair. That is a great name. I love that
to
name.
admit what you did and your actual responsibility in it as being 100%.
Yeah, because nobody else drove me there. It was me that drove me there. It was me that put myself at the computer.
Right.
It was me that did the whole thing.
So I know that there's stuff that has gone on since then on the computer about you.
Yeah.
And I don't know everything, but it looks like there's a lot of stuff. And from what I gather, it all comes down to these excuses that you've had. I mean, just scratching the surface, just looking at some of the comments that people have made, some of the posts and things like that, there's a lot of anger. And it goes with, like, how is this guy denying what he did? He's actually saying he didn't want to go there.
I'm just a massive Justin Timberlake fan, so I was quick. I know they seem out of place in a Lorne stream, but you know, just I can't get enough of the timber.
He didn't want to talk to her like that. Is he seriously doing that? Like, what the fuck? And even on your channel, your own videos were 100% denial.
I know.
And that's why you've been trolled so hard. That's why stuff has happened. It seems to me the response from other people has been completely negative because you're in denial and everybody knows better. Everybody knows better.
I didn't want to admit it to myself. I didn't want to think myself that way.
I know.
I knew I didn't want to think of myself that way. I was ashamed of myself.
Yeah. And that makes perfect sense. And so when they're getting these responses and these videos about how, well, I'm going to tell you why I went there. And it all comes down to my family and how they treated me. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought this was going to be about how he ended up there. And now he's talking about other people and how everything else seems to boil down to other people did things to me and pushed me in a direction where I ended up taking my dick out for a girl and I drove to her house and wanted to fuck her. And that is so frustrating. So frustrating.
Yeah, I know.
So think about it. When I talked to you last time, you were talking about he committed a crime against a poor 12-year-old girl. And his excuse was, I was drunk and I blacked out. And so it happened. And I'm going to move on with my life now. You did not accept that reason. You were thinking to yourself, being drunk is no excuse for what you did.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone has been hearing from you.
Yeah, I know. Because I didn't want to admit it.
And now you have.
I hate myself for it. I don't want to hate myself. It's so hard to live with it, knowing what I did.
Mm-hmm. And now what you're going to be able to do is use the resources that you have available to make yourself better, to keep going deeper and to keep getting an understanding and not backslide. Because there's going to be a lot of people, Lorne, who are never, ever going to forgive you.
And Lorne did use those resources and was a much better person. Oh, what? That didn't happen? Oh, damn it. Anyway, guys, I am going to wrap it up there for tonight. So about 3/4 of the way through that call, but we've got another 2 parts after this one as well. So thank you very much for being here. I've missed you guys greatly, and I appreciate you all coming out. So as mentioned earlier, on Wednesday night, Tracy Hamill will be on with me for a belated birthday stream for her, and also check out her podcast if you've got some time. I really enjoyed it, and tomorrow night I am very excited that I will be on with the great Batsby, the glory hound herself, reading the tomorrow night's chapter. So I honestly can't say how excited I am for that. I read with her last year, and it was probably one of the highlights of my year. So the fact that I get to do it again is just I can't wait. And I just also wanted to say what a great job everyone else that has read so far has done. This has been. I mean, I love the chat log readings, and this has been the best year yet. So congratulations to everyone. All right, guys, out of here for now. Talk to you all again very soon, and don't forget to delete your archives. Bye.